Aloha guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. In tonight's video, we're actually going to talk about families who bring the little guys. That's right, young families. Those of you who have babies up to toddler, maybe even a little older. The truth be told, that age group, although amazing at Disney, they do require a little extra love and care, right? A little extra packing and thought and preparation for those little guys. It is not as easy as just wake up and go, right? Especially those babies' diaper bags, yeah? So we're gonna talk about it. I put together my top 10 list, kind of general tips and tricks for planning, preparing, things to think about when you are a young family. Now, I do wanna say that I have a ton of videos dedicated to young families, specifically that age group. I have a whole video on strollers. I have a whole video of, tips for the hotel. I have videos on what to pack for the hotel. I have videos on what to pack in general. I have tips and tricks and things of what to do with them in the theme parks. So many videos. But I thought I would put together a list of just things to kind of in general think about when preparing for your trip, right, with those young kiddos. So in no particular order, right, as usual, these are my top 10 things that maybe you need to think about or prepare for, or maybe it'll set off a light bulb for you to jumpstart something else that you need to pack. Every family is different. Every kiddo is different. I'm hoping this just kind of helps you guys out, right? So like I said, in no particular order, one thing we specifically need to do is we need to pack a medical bag. And if you already have a medical bag, you might want to update it, right? So I have a whole video on my family's medical bag. It may be a COVID edition video. Don't worry about that, guys. COVID or not, the story is germs are just everywhere. And Disney, with bazillions of people going and touching and rides and doorknobs and handles and ride bars, germs are everywhere. And guess who always gets sick first? Yeah, the kiddos. Why? They love to find the germs and then, fingers in their mouth. Anyway, it is very common for kiddos to get sick at Disney just because they're out and about with new germs, more germs, and they like to put their hands in their mouth. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? So yeah, kids can get sick anytime, anywhere, and it is so common. I will read it on Facebook, right? Help, guys, we just checked in. My kid woke up super duper sick. I can't find their medicine anywhere. This is so unbelievably common. This is why you want to pack a medical bag. We keep this in our suitcase. It lives in our suitcase, which is why I said I need to update it, right? I got to check expiration dates and make sure things aren't just 2 pills, maybe a whole box. I got to update our medical bag. So you want to either create one or update it, right? And I want you to think about this. If your kiddo or you yourself gets sick on property, medicine on property is not only hard to find, but it's so expensive, especially if you're going during sick season. You may not find that Advil or that Tylenol, or it could be as simple as, do you require liquid? Does your child need liquid, in a little cup, or your child needs chewable? Maybe your child needs dye-free or a specific brand. Maybe they have allergies and they're allergic to this or that. Anyway, pack your stuff, guys. Get a medical bag, just a simple bag, and pack all those things. You want to think about how long is your trip. Is it about a week? Then you got to pack for potentially your child being sick for the whole week. And I don't want this to put a damper on it, but even if your child just has the sniffles, you want to take care of that, help them out, and just pack all that types of medicine that you think you might need. I want you to think of things like fever, cold and cough, headaches, and just general allergies, right? And don't forget about the adults too. Adults might need medicine, right? For us, maybe upset stomach, a headache, diarrhea, acid reflux, or even indigestion. Just think about what maybe is common for you, what tends to happen when you get sick. What do you tend to use at home? Just make a medical bag, guys. Put it all in here. I've got everything in here between pills and liquid and Kleenex and Vicks Vapor Rub. I've got cough drops in here. I've got little baby drop syringe thingies, and I've got it all in there. So pack it and just be prepared. Most likely you won't need it, and that would be amazing. But if you do need it, you're gonna be so thankful you have it. So yes, number 1, pack a medical bag or update it, especially people with little kiddos and babies, you know, like you can't go to the store and you just give the baby the little cup, right? No, the baby needs that liquid syringe thing. Plan ahead. Number 2, you want to test and try on all of your clothes before you go. And I know this sounds silly, but kiddos are notorious for growing and we don't even notice it. I cannot tell you how many times I've taken my kiddos to Disney and whoops, my shoes don't fit. Or that notorious time, I talk about it all the time, we went on a Disney cruise. Yep, time to go in the pool. I get out my son's swimsuit. Doesn't even fit. Like cutting off his circulation doesn't even fit. I had to run to the gift shop, bought like an $80 Disney Cruise Line bathing suit, which ended up being too big because they wouldn't let me try it on. And then they wouldn't let me return once I bought one size because anyway, long story short, my son's been swimming in his Disney Cruise Line bathing suit for quite some time. So you want to try on the things, especially if it's winter and you're going to Disney World because maybe you need summer clothing, right? Or you just finished winter and now you got to make sure the shorts and all the things fit. So I want you to just plan ahead and just try everything on. Adults too. You want to think about shoes specifically. Kids are notorious for growing fast with their footsies. Bathing suits and shorts. Yeah, so clothing on property, yes, you can find it. It's going to be pricey. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I'll just grab a cab or an Uber and go to Walmart and buy stuff. Yeah, that takes time and it can be costly. Do all your homework in advance. Try the clothes on the kiddos. Make sure what size they are and plan accordingly. And like I said, adults, I got to do this too. I don't know if I lost a few pounds or gained a few pounds, but you definitely want to be comfy on vacation and have things that fit. So yeah, 100% you want to test and try on those clothes before you go. And I know, you know, some of you are thinking, well, the trip's a surprise. I don't want my kids to know. I did this frequently. I would say, hey, Target's having a sale on shorts. Can we just go try on the shorts in our drawer, see what fits? Because if something doesn't fit, I'm gonna go run to Target and get your shorts because they're on sale right now. Like, make it up, guys, make it up. But yes, definitely try on the clothes. Now, number 3, this one's gonna sound so ridiculous, but I'm telling you, it's gonna help you out. You wanna practice, pack, and test out your park bag. That's right, I am uber duper serious about this. When you're just one person going to the theme park, it isn't that big of a deal because you're not bringing that much stuff. When you're a family going with a bunch of kiddos and you've got snacks and water bottles and medicines and extra hoodies and toys and electronics and oh my, the backpack, the park bag can get filled up super duper quickly. So you want to do this in advance. You want to hunt down for the best backpack. You want to think of things like, is it going to be too big? Is it too small? Is it too heavy? You want to find something that is lightweight and has enough room in it so you can throw in that hoodie, you can throw in that coat, you can throw in an extra souvenir. So this is the backpack, type of backpack we used when my kids were little. This is a Vera Bradley. It's a campus backpack. Now what I love about it, it's lightweight. It's just fabric, right? It's washable. When you're done with the theme park, you just throw this in the wash, keeps it nice and clean. I love that it has cup holder spots on the outside because if mom or dad is wearing the backpack and kiddo needs their water bottle, you just plop it out. It's got a ton of different zipper compartments in here so you can hide the snacks from the other stuff and it's just very nice. So it's very lightweight, it's big enough, but it's not so heavy that you're gonna feel like it's pulling on your back. And that's why you wanna practice, test it out. Because if you filled your teeny weeny lounge fly so filled up with stuff to the point where you have to carry a lounge fly and a tote bag and a Lululemon, like that's too much stuff. Figure out what you're gonna want in the parks. I have a whole video on what to pack in your park bag. And then you wanna think, what are my kiddos gonna need? Everyone needs a sippy cup, everyone needs snacks, like I said, light jackets, whatever. You wanna put it all in the backpack and see if it fits and adjust accordingly. Like I said, you don't want anything that's too heavy, that's gonna be like pulling on your back, right? But you don't want anything so small that you're wearing the backpack and then you got a bunch of stuff that you're holding and you're carrying. It's a pain. Figure it out, test it out, and it is a little bit of a trial and error. At one point, you might decide the family needs one big backpack. Mom and dad are gonna, you wear it for a few hours and then I wear it for a few hours. You may decide that mom and dad each need their own backpacks. This is what we ended up doing. I had my husband, his backpack had his stuff and one kid's stuff in it. And then I had a backpack with my stuff and one kid's stuff in it. So we kind of divide and conquered the load. That way, if one kid needed a diaper change, all the diapers and that kid's stuff is in that backpack. And if one kid, we just kind of separated. That's what we did for us. So you may decide you want one big giant family backpack. You may decide mom and dad each need a backpack. You may decide that the kiddos are old enough to carry their own backpack and at least have their own water and snacks inside. Either way, I have tons of videos on backpacks and park bags for both adults and kiddos and all that stuff. The point here is you want to practice. You want to practice and test it out because you don't want to find out when you get there that your stuff is too heavy, too big, you need to buy another bag, and that's just so many. Make it simple, guys. Figure it out, 1 bag, 2 bags, and be done. So speaking of the backpack, number 4 here is water bottles. Water bottles would then go in the backpack. So I know I mentioned water in pretty much all of my videos, but it is so crucial and so very, very important. And I find that a lot of families forget the kiddos. They remember mom and dad's water bottle, right? Because maybe they're used to using them, but they forget about packing the water bottle for the little guys. Anything between sippy cups and regular water bottles, you definitely want to pack a refillable water bottle for everyone. If you have a little guy who's not quite used to using a water bottle, now's the time to practice. You definitely want to consider something that is easy to drink out of, right? Easy to refill. And most definitely leak proof. That's right, it's going in the family backpack. You don't want all your stuff to get ruined. So you definitely want to practice with those kiddos and test out those water bottles. Pack one for everyone. You want to consider things like, should I label their water bottle? Do we need some sort of handle on their water bottle or some sort of strap so it's easy to carry? Maybe you need a cup holder on that stroller or some sort of situation. Anyway, 100% water bottle for everyone, especially those kiddos, and make sure you try and test them out. Some kids, they just need something where you press a button and you drink. In fact, I have a whole video on nothing but water bottles. The worst thing is, when you have to twist and it's hanging off and then it gets all germy. Just the button and sip is easy to go. But yes, water bottles for everyone. Number 5 is strollers. And yes, I do have a whole video on strollers, things you need to know regarding strollers at the theme parks. But the thing I want to mention here is if you got little guys, you do need to consider a stroller, even if your kids are on the older side. Are your kids whiny and complaining? Do you think they can walk all day long for miles and miles and miles for days in a row? I don't care what age your kid is. If your kid will be happier in a stroller, even for just a few hours, I say do it. Because when the kiddos are happy, mom and dad are happy. If you've got a whiner, I remember those days. Sometimes it's easier to just put them in the stroller, let them fall asleep or let them play some sort of game and let them be happy. So 100% stroller, yes. But you need to consider, are you gonna pack your stroller from home? Are you gonna rent stroller from Disney World? Don't suggest that. Or from an outside company? What type of stroller would you wanna rent? Or are you gonna do my way, and that is just go to the local whatever, back in my day there was Babies R Us, and just buy the largest, most ridiculous, simple looking, lightweight umbrella stroller that you possibly can, use it for the trip, and then be done with it. So you got to think of those things, right? So you're going to bring your own? Are you going to rent? Are you just going to purchase one and ditch it? Like, what are you going to do? Is it lightweight? Yeah, by the time you've got all your baby stuff and your stroller and a kiddo, less is more. Lightweight is key. Is it going to be easy to collapse? Are you used to collapsing it? If you rent a stroller, are you going to be able to collapse that stroller? Because all the Disney buses require you to collapse your stroller before you get on the bus. So yeah, you got to carry the kids, collapse the stroller, you have the backpacks in tow. Ooh, So much going on. So yes, you definitely want to make sure you know what you're doing with the stroller, you're comfortable with the stroller, it's lightweight, and you don't have too much stuff with you, right? You also want to 100% make sure that stroller has a cup holder. It is so nice that the person who's pushing the stroller has a cup holder for their water bottle or their Starbucks or whatever. And then the kiddo has a cup holder. I know for us, we would attach a strap from the cup to the stroller. So if the kid did the typical, I'm gonna chuck my water bottle out the whatever, it was attached to the stroller. It wasn't lost. So it would kind of just dangle and we would have to re-pick it up. Think of those things in advance. Kids are notorious for taking their whatevers and chucking them out of the stroller. Prepare in advance. Also make sure your stroller has some sort of sun shade, some sort of, sun protection there. Disney World is hot, and that sun can beat up on those kiddos pretty quickly. So think of those things when you're, figuring out the stroller situation. Number 6, weather appropriate gear. I see this so often, guys. The kids are not dressed appropriately for the weather. It seems like mom and dad were prepared, but didn't really think of the kiddos, and I'm not really sure why. I've seen kids in like long pants and it's like super duper hot, or it's so cold and the kids don't have a winter hat or gloves. They're just kind of shoved in the stroller with a giant blanket. Prepare in advance. Check the weather before you go. Just like you're gonna prepare for yourself, prepare for those kiddos. If you're going to Disney World right now, Disney World's a little chilly out there. A lot of those Floridians are complaining. You wanna look into making sure you got your kiddos winter hats, right? And their gloves, a decent coat that's easy on, easy off, or maybe a nice blanket for the stroller so that when you're pushing them, their legs and stuff are nice and toasty. You wanna think about that. Disney World's weather is not always beautiful and warm. Sometimes it's so cold, and then sometimes it's so spicy hot that less is more. Again, that's why you want that sun shade on that stroller. So you definitely just want to prepare in advance. And if you're going during high heat, don't forget about a stroller fan for those kiddos. Like I said, some sun coverage and clothes that just won't make them too sweaty or sticky. Just think about the kiddos, guys, that's all. Number 7, now we're gonna talk about the babies here. Those of you who take babies to Disney World, yes, people do this. I've done it. So many people take the babies, but there's other things you gotta think about, right, when you've got those littles. First of all is the diaper bag. Now the diaper bag we use at home might not be the best diaper bag to use at the theme parks. Specifically, I remember my diaper bag at home was like a crossbody, had like a long handle, and then I had this big old diaper bag. That's kind of obnoxious to carry around in the park, and I know a lot of people think, well, I'm just gonna shove it in the stroller, right? But when you park that stroller, you got to take the diaper bag with you into the ride. Your kiddo might need something while you're waiting in line or in the ride. You don't want someone to steal it out of your stroller. So you want to think about those things. The diaper bag you use at home might not be the diaper bag you want to use at the theme park. Now, they do make diaper bags that are backpacks, and those are awesome. But something like this, like I said, this is canvas, it's washable. You could put the diaper pad in the back, fill it with diapers, put baby food on top of it. So a diaper bag doesn't have to be a diaper bag, right? It's any sort of bag that's convenient that holds all of your stuff. But the things you want to think about for that diaper bag, right? If you're nursing, it makes life a little bit easier for you. But if you're not, you got to definitely think about bottles, right? You want to think about some water heating device. Are your babies at the age where you kind of have to sterilize and heat up that water before you put in the formula? Yeah. Do you need some sort of special washing or sterilization going on for those bottles? Like I said, formula, baby food, snacks, finger foods, all those different stages of food for those babies. And yes, Disney's resorts do sell some of these things, but again, they might not have the flavor or the brand or the situation that your baby likes. So you definitely want to prepare in advance. In fact, don't forget to bring extra diapers, more diapers than you think you would need. Yeah, lots of diapers, lots of wipes, and I would consider actually just having the diapers and the wipes and some of the extra snacks and those heavier things shipped to your resort. Just have them shipped or delivered to your resort. A lot of those companies that will deliver groceries can also pick up diapers and wipes and all those things, and make your life a little easier. The things about babies is they just require a lot of gear, a lot of bare necessities, right? So you just want to plan ahead and get what the baby needs, but also the things that make them happy. Because again, baby's happy, family's happy, mom and dad's happy equals good trips. You definitely want to think about those things when headed to the theme park. Number 8 is basically, where is baby going to sleep? Where are those kiddos going to sleep? Pack and play, crib. You definitely want to think about this. Now, did you know that Disney properties will provide you with a pack and play? Yep, they absolutely will. You just have to call housekeeping and request one. They come with sheets too, by the way. So yes, if a pack and play works out great for you, then that is perfect if you're staying at a Disney resort. But did you know that there's actually outside companies that can rent you a crib if you need a legit crib, or perhaps you're staying off Disney property? Those places don't provide a pack and play, so you need to rent a crib. These are just things to think about. Depending on what type of pack and play and crib situation you got, you need to pack sheets if you're not staying at Disney, right? You need to pack blankets, extra babies and loveys if they're used to those things in their pack and play or their crib at home. How about a baby monitor? Yep, all of those things. If you're used to using them at home, you may want to use them at Disney. Also, one thing that was really important to us, depending on your resort and where you plopped that pack and play, right? Because not all the resorts have space for that pack and play. You want to make sure the blinds close and they're practically blackout. So you definitely want to do your research into those hotels and make sure you get the ideal curtain situation. I would pack like an extra blackout blanket that I would put over the curtains, and sometimes clothespins to close up the curtains either this way or the blanket on top. I'm coming up with anything I can possibly think of to make sure my kiddo sleeps. A kiddo who sleeps is a happy kiddo. This is especially important if you happen to go back to the resort for nap time. If your kiddo can't nap, it kind of can ruin the trip for you. So just make sure you think of those things to make it comfortable and happy for everyone, including making the room super dark and quiet. We would pack a sound machine also, because we could hear like housekeeping walking by and the squeaky cart, and that would wake up the kiddo. So between the baby monitor and the sound machine and getting something for the curtains, you definitely just want to make sure everyone is happy. But yes, Disney resorts will provide that pack and play and also a nightlight. If your kiddo is used to sleeping with a little nightlight, or if you have a younger kiddo who's not in a pack and play, but they're going to be going from the bed to the bathroom, yeah, nightlight might be ideal for them. Number 9 can be kind of a big one for you guys. You need to know the car seat rules per your destination, per where you're going. Now, this is what I mean by this. My laws for car seats in my state are not the same as the car seat laws in Florida. Did you know that Florida law, any sort of mass transportation company, ride share company, chauffeured ride vehicle company, right, that you may rent or hire to take you from the airport to your resort, it is not required that your child be in a car seat. A lot of those companies will not provide you a car seat. A lot of those companies will not even let you use your car seat if you bring it with you, because per Florida law, it's not illegal for your 5-year-old to ride in a taxi without a car seat. Know this going into it. So this brings up quite the pickle, right? Because some parents are like, it's fine. Some parents are like, no, my kid is not getting in a car without a car seat. So these are the things you have to know about in advance. Now, obviously, if you rent a car, yes, your kiddo needs a car seat, but if you're getting some sort of Mears, shuttle, bus, private driver, Uber, limo, taxi cab situation, it is not required that your kiddo be in a car seat. Like I said, some companies have them for rent, some companies do not. Some companies, even if you bring your own, you're not allowed to use it. So you definitely want to do your research and plan accordingly. Now, if you're going to bring your own car seat, right, that's a lot of work, and they're heavy and they're big. Does your car seat need an airplane bag? Yeah, I cannot tell you. Last time I went to Orlando, there was a whole row of car seats, all with like the big airplane approved bag, so their car seat doesn't get destroyed when it's, underneath the aircraft, right? So these are the things you got to plan ahead. If you do need a car seat, are you going to bring your own? Is the service that you arranged going to let you install it? Or did the service you arranged going to provide you with the proper car seat? Either way, like I said, it is technically your comfort level because Florida law says it's not required. But knowing about these rules in advance is just going to help you out because you know what to prepare for, what to think about. And you're not shocked when all of a sudden you get to your Uber and you're like, what do you mean you don't have a car seat? It's technically not illegal, Florida law, in those types of situations. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. That's a big one. Number 10. Now, I know a lot of you don't like listening to this one, but it's just true. Location, location, location does matter when you're a family with little kiddos. It just does. If you're staying off property and it's going to take you an hour to get to the theme parks every single day, is that as worth it as if you can just stay on property and take a monorail over? It seems okay, right? It seems like, well, we'll just drive an hour to get to the theme parks and then we'll come home and take an hour to get home. The kids will sleep in the car. That seems okay. What if you need to leave and the kids need to take a midday break? Is it really convenient to drive an hour back to your resort and then an hour back? And I don't mean your resort is an hour away. I'm talking traffic. Yeah, Disney's built in like a bubble. The traffic within Disney is completely different from the outside Disney traffic. So by the time you get inside the Disney bubble, the traffic and it can just be a hot mess, guys. So location, location, location can matter. I highly advise that my clients who have little kiddos not only stay on property, but they stay on resorts that have easy access to the parks. This means walking close, monorail close, Skyliner close, even boat close. Even though all Disney resorts do have buses and you can absolutely take your kiddo, go on a bus, get to the theme park, that's definitely better than staying off property. However, every time you go on a Disney bus, guess what you have to do? I talked about it a little earlier. You have to collapse that stroller. So if your kiddos are sleeping in the stroller because, fireworks just went off, the kids fell asleep, you have to wake up those kiddos. Then you have to collapse the stroller. Then you have to carry all the random coffee cups, Starbucks cups, and bags and souvenir things in your hands along with the kiddo, along with the stroller, just to get on the bus. I can't tell you how many times I see parents do that and they're fumbling around and things falling out of their hands and sometimes they're arguing with each other. If you stay at a resort on the monorail, you just wheel your stroller on. That's right. It is so unbelievably easy. We did this when my kids were stroller age. We 100% stayed on the monorail. The kids slept in the stroller and we just wheeled them on the monorail and then we wheeled them off. The Skyliner, most of the time, the stroller can wheel on the Skyliner. I do believe most of the boats, you do have to collapse the stroller, 100% have to collapse them on the buses. So when you think about your hotel, it's not just, we're just there for sleeping. Although you are, there is more things to think about. Location, how close you are to the theme parks. How easy access do you have to the theme parks? Again, riding the monorail is going to be way easier than riding on the bus, especially if you want to take midday breaks because it's right there. The resort is right there. You just take a quick monorail ride over, take a nap, and go back. So like I said, these things, they just are important, not to mention the resorts closest to the theme parks tend to have rooms that are a little bit larger. You know what larger means? More space for that pack and play, more space for all of your luggage and things you had to pack for the kiddos. Now I show this a lot in my room tour videos. A lot of those value and even moderate resorts don't have a good separation between the bathroom and the sleeping area. So if you have kiddos who are sleeping, like they finally fell asleep, but you have to get up and use the restroom. I know I've been there and I've been afraid to use the restroom because I thought I was going to wake up the kids if I walked up and went to the bathroom because, they have that curtain and it makes so much noise. It helps. It helps 100% to save your pennies, stay at a little bit of a nicer resort that is on property that has easy access. That's all I'm really saying. So really consider a location because you're really There's more to the story than just we're there to sleep. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, guys, those are my top 10 things to think about, plan on, consider when you're a young family headed to the theme parks. But I do have a couple of bonuses for you. You ready for this? Please pack extra pacifiers. That's right. You know the number one thing I see on the ground at Disney World? Pacifiers. All the time. They're in bushes. They're in the middle of the road. People left them on rides. Are those pacifiers? I mean, think about you and your kiddo, right? How many times do you give your kiddo the pacifier and it's like a game? They just, boop, they blop it out. They blop it out and they throw it. You didn't notice, and all of a sudden you are without a pacifier. And yes, Disney does sell pacifiers, but it might not be the brand and the size and the shape and whatever that your baby enjoys. Save yourself the hassle, guys. Pack extra pacifiers. Bring a whole box if you need to. Have them in the suitcase, have them in the park bag, whatever. They are notorious for being on the ground at the theme park. Also consider having a strap. So at one point we had a clip on the kiddo that clipped to the pacifier. So if they wanted to just chuck it out of their mouth, it would at least just dangle from their outfit, right? It wasn't on the ground because yeah, dirty pacifiers, and you're sterilizing them and washing them, and just pack extra. Promise it'll save you while you're at the theme parks. The next thing I wanted to let you guys know as part of my bonus is if you do stay at a Disney resort, I just want to note that all those properties do have children's life vests if your kiddo's gonna use the pool. So that's pretty awesome. I get a lot of parents who ask me that question. So yes, all the resorts have a kid vest. However, some kids use puddle jumpers. Some of the Disney resorts do sell puddle jumpers, but maybe you can pack and bring your own. And also don't forget about swim diapers. That's right. Disney usually sells them, but of course at a huge upcharge. So don't forget, when you're taking your kids to Disney, are you going to go to the pool? Yeah, don't forget about pool things as well for those kiddos. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. Sorry, the video got a little bit longer than I thought, but I hope it helped you guys out. Let me know in the comments. When I come up with my top 10 tips and tricks, I really try to think what is helpful. What was helpful for me when my kids were younger? What is helpful to my clients when they ask me these questions? You know, between you guys asking me questions, my clients asking me questions, and things that I remember being important when my kids were little, that's how I come up with these videos for you guys. So please let me know in the comments if this was helpful. If you are interested in a different topic, let me know as well. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful and useful. Let me know in the comments. But as always, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications, like this video. Like I said, comment. Let me know what you think. I know there are tons of tips and tricks out there for people going with young families. Feel free to share them with us. But you never know. I may have already said that tips and tricks in a different video. Like I said, I have so many videos out there for young families, so make sure you guys check those out. But yeah, please share my content, guys. I need that little extra help and boost to keep my channel going. Yep. And as always, guys, mahalo for watching. Nina out. Bye, guys.